guys, Shay here. Today we're going to talk to our wedding guests. We're going to give you guys some tips on how to be the perfect wedding guest. Tip number 1, mail your gifts. A lot of times when you guys are out and you're buying your gifts for the bride and groom based off of their registry, there is an option to mail the gift to them for free. Go ahead and take that option, because a lot of brides and grooms nowadays are getting married at destination locations. So it would just help everybody out if you guys could mail your gifts to them. That way there is no transportation back and forth between the gifts. Number 2, RSVP. This is probably the biggest stressor to brides and grooms, is when they mail the invitation out to you. There on the bottom of the invitation is a little date that says, please RSVP by this date. The reason that they have that is because they have to let their caterers know, their venue know, and a few other vendors how many guests are coming to this wedding, because they need to know how many tables and chairs need to be set out. They need to know how much food to prepare. So please don't be that wedding guest that the RSVPs aren't turned in by a certain time and then the bride and groom have to call you to find out if you're coming. Here's another thing with the RSVPs. On the envelope, if it is not made out to a "and guest," then you're coming alone. The next thing with your RSVPs is, if you say that you are coming to the wedding, you send your RSVP on time, you do everything, but a week prior or 2 weeks prior to the wedding, you find out, you have to work, or there's a family emergency, or something's happening and you can't come to the wedding. That's okay. Tell the bride and groom that you can't come, because what they could potentially do is then relay that information to the caterer. So you're not doing anything wrong by calling them and saying, hey, something came up, I cannot come. If you let them know ahead of time before their final head count is due, then you're actually saving them money, because they don't have to pay for your meal if you're not going to be there. The third thing, and this is something that, oh boy, I could talk all day long about. Please, for the love of everything holy, do not wear white to a wedding if you are a female. I repeat, do not wear white to the wedding if you are a female. This is something that is very, very debatable, and I've read tons and tons of etiquette books and magazines and things about this, and nowadays they're saying that it's okay to wear white to a wedding. Frankly, in my opinion, and I would say almost every single one of my brides' opinions, they don't appreciate it. If the bride and groom have requested that all of their guests wear white, that's a completely different situation, because the bride and groom are requesting it. But if they do not request it, it is not appropriate to wear white to a wedding. I do not think that you should wear white to weddings, and I've asked tons of my couples about this, and they do not think that it is appropriate to wear white to a wedding. Number 4 is, if you go to a wedding and there is an open bar, this does not give you the right to drink and be a drunkard. The people whose wedding you are attending, this is them basically saying, hey, here's a present, thanks so much for coming to our wedding, drink up. But it also doesn't mean make a fool of yourself. This is a wedding, not a bar. Just because there's an open bar does not give you the right to take advantage of the open bar and turn into that guy. Number 5 is sit at your assigned seat. So when you RSVP to a wedding, your bride and groom spend a lot of time creating this seating chart, figuring out where the guests are going to sit. So if, let's say, John Smith again shows up to a wedding and he is assigned to sit at table 9, but he knows a lot of people sitting at table 11, it's just dinner, it's only an hour. If you want to get up and mingle after dinner, please, by all means, go do that. But let's not be that person to disrupt dinner because you feel more comfortable sitting at another table versus the table that the bride and groom sat you at. Now let's go over the scenario of, if it's open seating and the bride and groom did not assign anybody to tables, then feel free to go sit with the people that you know. But if there is no more room at that table, do not bring a chair from one table to the other table. Again, it's just really tacky. Let's avoid that. So recapping on the 5 tips: mail your gifts in if possible. If not possible, not a problem. 2, RSVPing. So RSVP by the date that it requires you to. If you are not allowed to bring a +1, please don't bring a +1. And then if you did RSVP saying that you can come to the wedding and then you can't last minute, please let the bride and groom know. Number 3, don't wear white. Number 4, don't be a drunkard. And number 5, sit at your assigned table. I hope this helps you guys out a bunch. I'm sorry if it sounded really, really harsh, but it's not meant to be harsh. A lot of people just do not know how to be a good wedding guest. So I hope this video helps you guys. If you have any other questions, please feel free to comment in the comment box and subscribe. Also visit our Facebook page and our website. Thanks guys, have a charming day.